If women don't put the clause, who's to blame? Sister, did you put that clause in your marriage nikahnaama?
Basically, in
Sister,
our...
I am asking you, please, your questions are so long, you're so emotional. Yes or no, did you put a clause in your nikahnaama before marrying that my husband should not take a second wife?
It was already cut when the nikahnaama came to me, because this is what is a
I'm
common
asking you a
tradition.
simple question, yes or no. Did you put the clause in the nikahnaama that my husband should not take a second wife? Did you
I was
put
not
yes?
asked for that.
So who's to blame? If you did not ask for your right, who's to blame, he or you? If you don't ask, good, even I will not ask. I'm asking, that means you did not know your religion, right or wrong? Did you know when you got married that you can put a clause in the nikahnaama? Did you know, yes or no?
No.
Who's to blame, you or your husband? Who's to, now you know? Now you know or not? Sister, now do you know or not?
Yeah, now I know.
That means your nikahnaama, you can put any clause, but you cannot put a clause, you cannot tell your wife, you cannot tell your husband, you should not offer salah, because offering salah is fard. So you cannot prevent your husband from doing something which is fard, neither can you force him to do something which is haram. You cannot say, I want you to have alcohol every day, because having alcohol is haram. But anything which is mubah, which is optional, you can put a clause saying, if he agrees, he'll marry you. If he doesn't agree, he won't marry you. Khalas. So if you don't know your deen, who's to blame? You or me? Who's to blame? Why are you talking about the state? Forget the state. Every individual Muslim, man or woman, can put any clause which is optional. You can put a clause that I will only marry you if you give me every month 50,000 rupees. No problem. Agree? Agree. Has the money, he will agree. No. Or you say 1 lakh rupees. Put a clause. He may agree, he may not agree. You can demand the meher what you want. You know meher. How much meher you kept, sister?
But if they promise
Sister,
a meher and
how much
afterwards
meher?
they are
See,
not
I'm
giving,
asking
then...
you a question. What is your, where do you come from? You are saying my name is so and so. What was the meher in your marriage?
1 lakh.
1 lakh rupees. What can you do with 1 lakh rupees today?
It's worth nothing.
So why did you agree with that meher? Who's to blame?
Because
you or
there
me?
was no other option.
Ah, so the problem is in you. Problem is that then you have to do. If there's no other option, that means you found the best. See, sister, Islam has got various options and varieties. The problem is that the Muslims and the men, they do not know their deen themselves. You don't know the deen and then you blame Islam. In Islam, the right has been given to the man because to protect the woman. And if you hear my answer, that why does Islam allow a man to have more than one wife, is basically to protect the woman. If every man marries one woman, then women will be unprotected in this world. Because today, sister, there are more women in the world than the men. Do you know that? In New York alone, in USA alone, there are 4.3 million women more than men. In Germany alone, there are 1 million female more than men alone. In Russia alone, there are 10 million female more than men. If your sister or my sister happens to live in Germany, my sister happens to live in Russia, and there are 10 million females who have not found husband, only option for them is that they either marry a man who already has a wife or become public property. Do you understand? Public property, Dr. Zakir, it's such a harsh word. It is the most sophisticated word I can use. So, polygyny, a man having more than one wife, has been given to protect the woman, not to degrade her. The problem is that many of the men, many of the Muslim women, they don't know their rights. We are to blame. We don't know our deen very well. Our deen, the amount of rights that the woman has in Islam is phenomenal. In other religion, the woman has to give money, right or wrong? In India, you have to give dowry or not normally?
Yeah, correct.
Did you give dowry? Did you give dowry?
No.
You received it. Alhamdulillah. So Islam has given rights. If there is something happened with your husband and if he's not following Islam, then there are ways. If your husband requires more than one wife, so why should you not support him? What is the problem? You tell me one thing, if the husband goes every day outside, huh? Outside to other women, as long as he doesn't marry, most of the wives did not mind. No problem. But चुपके से करो, दुनिया को मालूम नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. Correct? You go in America, 8 different sexual partners before they settle down. A good Muslimah would say, I would prevent my Muslim sister from becoming a public property. I wouldn't mind sharing the husband. If she's a good Muslimah. Do you understand? Sister, do you understand?
I understand.
I feel you're emotionally so charged up just because your husband took a second wife.
No, this is not the issue. Problem is, he is not owning his relations. This is the problem. This is my message by you to all the people who are here. Please, if you're going to own the relation, own them well. Don't desert the relation. Because
not owning relationship means when he married the second wife, did he say he was the second wife or not?
But if he leaves you without giving you a word, you don't know where he is not giving you your pocket money, he is not knowing you in what conditions you are then.
Sister, all this doesn't carry weight because I cannot give a judgment without hearing the other side. Whatever much you criticize your husband, point number 1, a good Muslimah will not criticize the husband in public. Do you understand?
Public don't know me,
Allah
public
says in the
don't know the
Quran,
person.
Inna Allah ma sabirin. Verily, Allah is with those who, even if my wife, however bad she is, I will, mashallah, she's very good. Mashallah, she's the best wife in the world. But even if my wife was the worst wife, I would never criticize her because I want to go to Jannah. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best Muslim is that who's the best to his family, including the wife. Now, if your husband hypothetically is not good, you be good to him, khalas. He should say, how much am I torturing my wife, yet she's praising me. His heart should melt. Irrespective the heart does not melt, you will go to Jannah. Do you know that, sister? You are losing your Jannah, sister. My advice from a brother to you is you are losing your Jannah by criticizing your husband in public. Do you understand, sister?
But you're not understanding my question.
I don't have to understand you, sister. Because I, as a person, cannot give judgment without hearing him. He's not present here. It is ghibah. It is ghibat. My advice to you is that, sister, forget about ghibat. Forgive, you will go to Jannah, inshallah. Hope that answers the question.